hard when you don't sell paintings because you got to store them somewhere. That's why I wanted to hold on to this one for a little while. It's the Serpent's Last Supper. And I think when I first painted this one, I just thought it just looked really cool having lots and lots of snakes, because before that I was usually only painting 1 or 2 snakes. So this time when I painted lots of snakes, I thought it's a really good snaky feeling to it. So that's why I started going into the snakescapes and started doing more and more and more snakes. Keep all the ideas into one journal, and some of these will end up as paintings and collage stuff together, making a burqa out of snakes. I don't really think that's blasphemous, very more just a bit of fun. Yeah, just lots and lots of ideas based on snakes. This one here, which I want to paint, is Mary giving birth to Jesus, and it's in a landscape full of snakes, and the snakes are watching. And what this is saying is you've got Mary, you've got Jesus, who are like deities, and the rest of us are all snakes looking on. In my work, sometimes I'm making the snakes the heroes, sometimes I'm making villains, but most of the time they're just snakes. Okay? Feeling warmer yet? Not too bad. You're living in the northwest coast of Tasmania. When I was growing up, if you didn't play football, you're a buff. And so you do something more macho than them. So bad. Oh, yeah, that's close. Lunged my chest, so I let him go. Oh, well, there'll be more. This is a Fibonacci spiral, which I try to squeeze in a lot of my compositions. It's one thing to paint, but you don't really get to have the full experience until you got an exhibition, until you got paintings up all around the wall. All the foliage is going to be snakes. Just being at the right time at the right place, that's the thing. Bit of rubbish is always good. Just a little lizard. That's a swan. Tell by the long neck. There's a copperhead, it just got into here. Saw me coming. In art school, my drawing teacher, he says, you've got to always sketch from real life, you know, and I'm a snake handler, so obviously it seemed natural that I'm going to start sketching snakes. As far as the venomous snakes go, no, I haven't really had a nasty bite. I haven't had to go to hospital for a snake bite, I'll put it that way. one of the problems with venomous snakes is like, it's non-venomous and you want to catch it, you just catch it and you just grin and bear the bite. It's a bit like that post-impressionistic movement called pointillism, where things are made up of little dots. So very tedious. Just putting down the underpainting at the moment. And who's to say in 100 years this might be considered a nice holy painting? I did a lot of research. It's probably another thing that sort of led to Mary, because Mary's depicted with a snake by her feet. Somewhere I've got some foot reference that I drew. This is terrible when you draw something you can't remember what you did with it. There we go. Foot reference. I knew I drew some feet somewhere.
Whose feet?
That Jen's feet. All I saw was it moving. So it must have saw me first.
Yeah, stop.
Oh, yes.
I'm just looking at your drawing here. Will there be a little bit of the blood, the
Just a little bit.
fluid? Yeah.
Not too much. Because you think of a crucifixion scene, there's just a little bit of blood there. There's not a lot. So I'm not going to have it all sloshed out here. It's just going to be just a little bit around there.
Yeah, because there is a lot of
It's
birthing fluid that comes
There
out.
is. It's like I say, it's like a horror show.
The snakes all coming in almost looks threatening, because snakes can be interpreted as a phallus as well. A woman couldn't be any more vulnerable than in that position, and then to have them all coming in, that's unnerving as well.
But isn't that the whole story is that she gives birth to somebody who's going to be sacrificed? It's a human sacrifice story. So if there is that menacing feeling, well, that's part of the story. Jen worries about me sometimes. I think she worries that people are just going to hate me.
This one I'm finding the hardest to interpret and explain. It's more, oh Bill, do you really have to do this painting? Even though I don't find it awful to look at, I still have the urge to cover it up.
What did we do? We do what the snake artist does. We went and we found a snake and we sketched it. This is a copperhead. Because I don't use photographs, so every now and again I have to sort of like catch one and see how the scales really look. I think I'd feel quite safe in a snake burqa. I know I have hidden behind snakes. Probably sound really weird. It's almost a self-portrait. You look at something for so long that you tend to, it's like you need to look at it freshly. So I sometimes put the painting upside down, or I look at it through a mirror, and if it looks okay through the mirror, it's going all right. I like the baby Jesus, he's looking all right. It's one of those things where if I don't do religious paintings, it's just a big part of my life experience I'm ignoring. And so I guess it's one of those things. Got to a point in my life where I had left art school, I wasn't really doing anything, and one of those points in your life where you think, well, what's the point of life? I just sort of had this idea about Christianity is what if somebody actually took it for real, you know, like some sort of superhero going, bang, I'm a Christian now. Sometimes, yeah, or maybe it's a form of exorcism. I just love doing this. This is it. This is my life. I just love sketchpad snake. That's probably why I don't drink alcohol, take drugs, because it's all here, man. This is what I love. There you go, have a pat.
There absolutely beautiful to touch. They're just really, really smooth and soft.
Sometimes you see them just completely riddled with ticks, and it's really sad, you know, they're on their way out when that happens.
You can see that real copper colour. There's another
Lovely.
tick.
Good one. I can see another one here, I think.
Oh, he's got a lot.
Jen said it looks like they're all coming to get her, but also wanting to look like they're all come to sort of like worship and see what's going on. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. It's an interesting thing because I've questioned why am I doing it.
Why are you doing it?
As an artist, you are a show-off and you don't want to be ignored. I really love the idea that, you know, kids like my work.
Yes.
I don't think there's anything here I wouldn't show kids, but, you know, parents might have another view on that. For my own.
Some would.
Mary herself is not really a deity. So part of blasphemy is that you'd have to attack a deity of some sort. I prefer people to hate my art rather than ignore my art. It strokes the ego, really. And I thought of, well, if I'm going to do Mary with her legs open showing her vagina, it's going to be in childbirth. And so we've got this painting over here called We Are All Snakes. And I sort of thought, is this really offensive? And I don't know if I'm desensitised to it or not, but the longer I think about it, it's probably more offensive to atheists. Because what it is a depiction of the Christian story, where God's come down to earth. It's a cursed, awful earth. We're all terrible sinners. We are the snakes. The Bible has a pretty dim view on us, so maybe that's a way we can relate to snakes. Let's see if I can. What is spirituality? I think in a lot of cases it's probably a heightened sense of an emotion. I just get excited seeing snakes, and I guess it comes back to that spiritual experience. I could be a snake artist for the rest of my life.